people, this is Niger Commando Storytelling Challenge Day 29, and my story today is titled Sometimes Tables Turn. I just gotten employed in an organization and I was posted to a different town. I didn't have anyone in that town, so the first day I got there in the evening so I could be present at work first thing in the morning. So my boss handed me over to somebody to stay. He was a colleague, and then he kept me for a couple of days. As at that time, we had not been paid accommodation allowance, so I still had to wait a couple of days or something before I got the phone. So I stayed with him a while, and then after a couple of days, he began to tell me that he didn't want me, that I should start getting an apartment. In fact, we were leaving one morning. He saw a notice for an apartment, for someone to rent an apartment. And then he began to call the agent for me without even asking if I had the money, And he told me that, see, you are the one keeping me. My girlfriend is coming to stay, and you are the one delaying her from coming. So you need to get a place, And I didn't take it badly. I was grateful that someone was gracious enough to accommodate me even for a few days. So it wasn't like I was entitled or something. So I began to look out for a place, and I made up my mind there and then that I was not going to stay for long. So I began to alternate. So while I was there, I think I must have stayed there about a week or two. While I was there, I began to alternate. So I found someone in a very distant part of town. Okay, someone linked me up with another person there, and I didn't even know how dangerous it was, because that part of town at that time was going through crisis. So we had to go there, and while you were going, you had to raise your hands up above your heads while the military watched on. So I didn't even know that it was that bad. So I would alternate and stay with this guy some days, stay with this other person, and anytime we had a holiday like a weekend, I'd be out of town to go stay with my mom because she was staying in a distant town. So thank God I was able to raise some money. I think my mom loaned me some money, and then I was able to do something and get a place to stay. How I got that place, even another story. It was not the kind of place I would have wanted to stay, but because I was very desperate, I just needed to get an apartment that day, no matter how small or no matter how it was. I just needed some form of independence, and so I got this place, and so I was there. Sometime after I had gotten a bigger place and moved on, and then this same person had issues with the organization and then moved on. Not just him alone, several people were affected. And then one day he called me. He was out of town. I needed to come to the town where I was, and he asked if he could stay with me. And when he asked that question, the normal reaction for many people will be, see what he did to me and all that. I didn't think that way. Just then God spoke to my heart and said, see, this is how life happens. Tables turn. Yesterday you were in need, today he's in need, right? So I didn't think much about it. He asked if it was okay to come stay in my place, and I said yes. I gladly said yes. He was going to stay with me. And then, though later he called in to say, okay, the person he was coming to see was not going to be around. But God had proven a point at that moment that tables indeed turn. And which is why we must be very, very conscious. We must be very, very careful how we treat people when you are at the top. You must make sure that you treat people fairly. You must treat people with love. You must treat people with empathy. You must treat them well. And so just imagine if it was some other person, and you had treated them badly when you were at the top, and now you need their help. They could return, if they were to return evil for evil, it would be terrible. Okay, so I learned a very valuable lesson that day. And I decided on my own to be very, very careful how I treat people, how I speak to people, no matter where I am, no matter what I have, no matter what I control, because you never can tell. So when tables turn, you don't know what side of the table you will be on. You might be standing on the table today, tomorrow you need to be at the bottom of the table. Some other time you might have no table at all and you need to go borrow some other person's table. So this is my lesson for today, day 29, sometimes table turn. Let me know what you think. Have you had such experiences? Kindly share with us, and remember to like, remember to comment, remember to share this video, and remember to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. This has been me, Mike Owangwa, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 30 of Niger Commando Storytelling Challenge. Watch out for my book coming out pretty soon, Niger Commando. I'll see you at the other side. Bye bye.